Well, this was only a 4-minute speech, which is spectacularly shorter than how long typically President Trump speaks. He was on message. He said these were massive strikes, and the tone of his speech was rather threatening to Iran. He said Iran is the bully of the Middle East and must now make peace, and if they do not, future attacks will be a lot easier. He said he worked with the team and Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's Prime Minister, and they've gone a long way in erasing this horrible threat to Israel. Now, he praised the US military. He said that operations like this haven't been seen in decades, and he hopes that we will no longer need their services in this capacity. Now, he directly said Iran, it is now peace or tragedy, and it will be far greater than what was witnessed over the last few days. This is a major escalation and now tethers the United States to a conflict with no specific end in sight, despite the president saying he wants this to end now and calling on Iran to make peace. Here is what the president said only moments ago.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
Now, the president has said that only the United States was capable of carrying out this operation, and it struck 3 nuclear sites, Natanz, Esfahan, and the Fordow facility. Now, the reason that both Israel and the United States say only America could achieve this strike is because the Fordow facility is deep underground inside a mountain and heavily fortified. And these B-2 stealth bombers, which we saw moving across the Pacific earlier today, despite US sources telling American media outlets that by no means does this indicate that a decision had been made. These bombers are the only aircraft capable of carrying these massive ordnance penetrators. Now, these are bunker-busting bombs. They weigh approximately 13,600 kilograms. They're 6 meters long, and they can carry approximately 2,300 kilograms of explosives. They are designed to reach incredible depths, and they hit the ground at near supersonic velocity. Now, it's reported that these can reach, up to 60 meters odd deep, but it was believed that the Fordow facility was even deeper inside this mountain. So there were reports that it may require multiple attacks and multiple bombs for a successful strike on this uranium enrichment facility. The president has said that these strikes have been vastly spectacular and successful. But this also goes against many things the president spruiked not only during his campaigns, but also during his presidency, as whilst he has always said Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, he has also spruiked himself as the peace through strength president, the president who on his inauguration day read that basically he will not be measured. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. Now, this decision, President Donald Trump only said 2 days ago he would make a decision to go into Iran within the next 2 weeks. And it also, he had been speaking around rhetoric saying, no one will know what I do, I may or may not do it, and sort of leading people on to whether or not he would go in, because many of his MAGA supporters and many people in the Republican Party didn't want America entangled in another foreign war. This may lead to that now. There has been very mixed responses coming from Americans. Within the Republican Party, Congressman Thomas Massie from Kentucky has said this is not constitutional, criticizing the president for making this decision without going to the Congress first. Then you also have Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican and staunch and very vocal ally of President Trump, typically saying Let us join together and pray for the safety of the US troops and Americans in the Middle East. Let us pray that we are not attacked by terrorists on our homeland after our border was opened for the past 4 years. And she said, let us pray for peace. So she has been very critical previously about the concept of Americans entering foreign wars. We saw President Trump during his campaigns very critical of the Iraq war, criticising it as a stupid war, claiming there were no weapons of mass destruction and that there was no need to enter that. He attacked Obama in 2011. He said that Obama wants to start a war with Iran to win the election. He then attacked Joe Biden for his withdrawal of the troops in Afghanistan. He said Ukraine, he could end the war within 1 day of returning to the Oval Office, and the war would never have started had he been in office. So he's been a very vocal advocate for not getting involved with foreign wars, but evidently he has decided that it was necessary to do so in this instance and support Israel, albeit over the last few days he'd criticised his Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, who only in March testified to Congress that the intelligence community did not believe that Iran was building a nuclear weapon. Although she did say that the stockpiles of highly enriched uranium was unprecedented for a country without a nuclear weapons program. But Karoline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, only this week said that Iran has everything it needs to build a nuclear weapon, and all it would require was the go-ahead from the supreme leader. So President Trump has decided to enter this conflict, but it could have serious consequences both for America, its allies, and also the odd 40,000 troops and civilians that are American civilians that are based within the Middle East, which Iran has warned could target now if the US got involved, which it has done so.
Cayman, how much will the reaction of US lawmakers and the American public affect what President Trump does next?
Well, President Trump has always been someone who says he goes by his instincts. And that comes down to him internally, not necessarily what people say or do outside, but the stark divide within the MAGA base, this coalition which has brought Donald Trump to power. It is around this foreign policy of isolationists focused on domestic issues, or these other hawks, Middle East hawks and traditionalist Republicans who said we should support Israel, our close ally in the Middle East, and fight this conflict with Iran. But some of the most vocal critics have been allies like the former Fox News host Tucker Carlson, the ex-White House strategist Steve Bannon, who also said on a podcast with Tucker Carlson that this decision could blow up the MAGA coalition. There have also been many Republicans in support of Donald Trump's decision to enter this conflict. But not only is there a divide in the Republican Party, but there is also a divide in the Democratic Party. You have Senator John Fetterman from Pennsylvania saying, as I've long maintained, this was the correct move by POTUS. The president, Iran is the world's leading sponsor of terrorism and cannot have nuclear capabilities. I'm grateful for and I salute the finest military in the world. Meanwhile, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC from New York, has said it is absolutely and clearly grounds for impeachment, calling the president's decision disastrous. Without authorization, it's a grave violation of the Constitution and congressional war powers. So there is a stark divide not only within parties, but also the American people. But ultimately, President Donald Trump does what he thinks is best, and he had decided to make this decision, despite telling people that it could be made within 2 weeks, despite today telling the White House press corps that they were done for the day, only to moments later announce these strikes on his Truth social platform.